if you watch the way we called the game, it means we trust him. Even on that last drive, I mean, we're throwing 4 verticals with him, and I just think in my mind, I say to myself all the time, like, these are professional football players. They've been doing this their whole lives. They let them go play. Like, don't try to overmanage the game. Let them go play. Let them make plays. And so sometimes you go for it fourth and half a foot, and you don't get it. They make a play, and sometimes we go make a play. So, but I think one thing about Sam, he has some moxie, man. I mean, he stayed in the pocket, had that long run called back, but finding Terrace on the 3rd and 12. I mean, there were some huge conversions by Sam, and again, it's him just playing within the system, but also I think he has a courageousness that, he's not crossing the line going over the top. He's protecting the football and still pushing the ball down there. And look at the play Alex Erickson made. I mean, that ball, because it's going to be picked, is it not going to be picked? It makes a great play. So a lot of production from a lot of different places.
Oh, man, Sam handled the game tremendously well. He led well. He kept poise at the times where he needed. He made big throws. And then, when it came down to it, he made plays with his feet. That's all you can ask from a quarterback, is just to go out there and, do what he can and fight to win.
What did you learn about him in that second half without McCaffrey out there that you didn't know before?
We got a good one, man. We got a good one. And he's only going to get better. Like I said, it's always hard playing without one of your best players, but Sam stepped up and did a tremendous job tonight.
So, Michael, we have some fun on this here show telling each other that I told you so. We both enjoy being right, and it certainly beats the alternative of being wrong, right? But
yeah, sure.
So I like being right. I like being right, but
okay. I like that you admit it.
But I especially like being right about somebody in a good way, okay?
Right.
I like being right in this context for Sam Darnold's sake, okay? So this isn't about me being right. This is about, I knew that Sam Darnold was not what we saw under Adam Gase in New York. I knew all he needed was a fresh start. I was very adamant at the beginning of the draft process. You and others convinced me that Zach Wilson was the second coming of Patrick Mahomes, and he still might be. It's early. He still might be. But you'll recall that I was very adamant that there was a lot to be said. I know there's economics involved, rookie contract for Zach Wilson, 50-year option for Sam Darnold, I get it. There's a lot to be said for keeping Sam Darnold and building a better team around him. But maybe that wouldn't have worked out. Maybe he needed just what he got, which was a change of scenery. And I love this story more and more. I love the fact that Sam Darnold was 3-10 in his last 13 starts with the Jets, and he's 3-0 with the Panthers in his first 3 starts.
In his first 3 starts with Carolina.
Right. What I'm loving about this story is this is not, first of all, who Carolina wanted.
That's a good throw.
David Tepper was as hot, if not hotter, after Deshaun Watson, ironically, after what he did, Sam Darnold did last night against the Texans, was as hot, if not hotter, after Deshaun Watson as Stephen Ross in Miami was and is. Sam Darnold was a bargain. They went bargain shopping. It's like, oh, okay, you'll give him to us for a 6 this year, and I think a 2nd next year, whatever it is. Oh, sure, we'll take a 24-year-old quarterback reclamation project. What I love about it is he was their second choice. He was an afterthought to who they really wanted because they really were in pursuit of a star quarterback. How soon we forget that coming out of USC, he was a star quarterback, so much so that the Jets traded up to number 3 to get him. And when he was in New York, he was sexy. He was going to be the face of the franchise. Now all Carolina really needs him to do is to be steady and stable.
Yeah.
And now there's no pressure on him to be a savior the way he had to be in New York. Now he comes in with very low expectations from the outside world, and he's thriving. And then you saw a toughness and Matt Rule said a moxie in the second half without Christian McCaffrey. I love Cameron Irvin saying, we're not the Carolina Christian McCaffreys, we're a team. I can't wait to see 24-year-old Sam Darnold continue to mature and grow and get better and show that, like, hey, again, unanswered prayers. Sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make, or sometimes you fall in love with the person you least expect. And I'm just so happy to be right about Sam Darnold because I'm happy for him. It was not on him how much he failed in New York. I know he had some bad habits, but it's amazing what a change of scenery will do.
Mike, I got to tell you, I'm not a USC groupie. As a matter of fact, in the USC-UCLA battle, I tend to favor UCLA. Why? Because one of my boys is the athletic director at UCLA. Shout out, Martin Germain. But really, so this is not a USC thing. I certainly don't cape up for the New York Jets. Does anybody in New York even do that? Okay, I love taking shots at the Jets.
They got fans. They got hardcore fans.
So I know they do. It's just fun. So it's not a USC
I know you're
thing.
messing with them.
It's not a Jets thing. It's not. Why am I rooting for Sam Darnold? Why am I rooting for the Carolina Panthers? Man, I'm rooting for them last night. Like, oh, that's my team. I don't know why, but I think it's part of what you said, is that these guys, and not just Sam Darnold, maybe because Sam Darnold is a composite of a lot of people, of a lot of first-round quarterbacks, highly drafted quarterbacks who have been put into difficult, if not impossible situations and been judged immediately unfairly. They've had their performances judged. They've had the performances of the teams that they played for judged before anybody was ready to be a real together organization. So in the case of Sam Darnold, he's dropped into New York. The franchise is a mess. You got Adam Gase, who should never be a head coach again for anybody. I'm not talking about the NFL. I'm talking about college. I'm talking about high school. Like, no more Sam Darnold. No more Adam Gase. No,
fantasy football.
So Adam Gase is your coach. You've got all kinds of drama going on. I think the first GM was Mike McCagnon, if I'm not mistaken. So Mike McCagnon was there, and
Sounds
then
right.
Gase kind of got him out. Then Douglas comes in. They're losing players. It's just a chaotic situation. Ownership has never been great in New York. And so Sam Darnold, I'm supposed to work with this? So now he is in a good situation, and we can see how subtle these things are, how fragile it is. It's not enough just to have the top pick in the draft, the top 2, 3, 4 pick in the draft, bring in a quarterback, and expect that all of your problems are going to be erased. And I think that's why I'm rooting for Sam Darnold, that people have given up on him, just kind of, next. Okay, we got Sam Darnold, get out of here. We got Zach Wilson coming, so we don't need you anymore. Well, wait a minute.
Everybody always wants the new shiny thing. They're always ready for something new, and it's like, I hope Carolina doesn't do that. I hope the Carolina,
Right.
the administration, the regime, the staff, the fan base, give him a chance to get better. His talent has been undeniable. The dude's got wheels. He's athletic. He's got all the tools.
And some of those throws.
Okay. Some of those throws, runs, didn't he have a long run callback?
Throws on the
There's
run.
so much that he brings to the table. There's so much that he brings to the table. I hope even if he kind of stumbles a little bit, give him a chance versus, well, let's see if we can get the next big thing, the next big rookie or swing a big trade. I think we're all rooting for him because we knew it's a cautionary tale. I saw it coming, but nonetheless, we're all guilty of it, is indicting quarterbacks who go to teams that they have no say in the matter because of the draft system, no say in the circumstance that they get drafted into. NFL history is littered with those quarterbacks, and players for that matter, who are victims of their circumstance.